Yo, what is going on, guys? DBG here, and today I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on Infinite Warfare based on what we've seen so far from the beta, what I feel like needs to be changed, and what Infinity Ward has already changed about the game. All the information I'm going to be talking about in this video is coming straight from the Infinite Warfare Reddit, which I'll have a link to in the description for anybody who wants to go look at it for themselves. However, I will have screenshots of the post throughout this video. Now, the first thing that you see on the post, I have a picture on screen, just says about the beta and how they wanted to test out a few new things such as their new matchmaking system, and that the following adjustments, which I'll get into in a second, or the changes they decided to make based off our feedback from the beta. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll get into the weapons, which right here it basically just repeats how they got feedback from the game, and that they're going to be making changes as well as the following changes they've already made for day one of the game. If you scroll down a little bit more, then you get into the actual changes for each individual weapon class, such as shotguns, snipers, etc., as well as other changes they made to score streaks, combat rigs, perks, literally everything they've changed so far about the game. Which I'm not going to be talking about every single change they made about the game. That's why I linked the Reddit in the description below. So if you want to know literally everything they've changed, then go click the link in the description below. Now, with that being said, they did make changes to the shotguns that I'm not going to be talking about because I personally didn't use any of the shotguns in the beta, and I didn't really see like anybody use them, so I really have no experience with the shotguns. So if you guys want to know what's going on with that, then that'll be at the Reddit. Now, the next thing is the snipers, which before I get into what Infinity Ward has already changed about the snipers, I want to get into what I think should have been changed about the snipers, which honestly isn't that much. I feel as if the longbow was really slow and it just needed a tiny buff in the speed, the cockback speed, and just a little bit of damage taken off of it to where it had the ability of getting hit markers, because I honestly don't remember me getting a single hit marker. I might be wrong with that, I don't know, but for the sniper that can change into an assault rifle, I feel like it just needed a little bit of recoil taken away, so it didn't have as much recoil, and then the Widowmaker was fine. And overall, I felt like the snipers needed just a little bit of aim assist taken away, but like not completely taken away. There should still be aim assist there. This is coming from a person who isn't a trick shot or a quick scooper, so those are the changes that I thought should have been changed. This year, snipers got a lot of hate, so I'm not really surprised that so many things were changed. However, the first bullet says, bullet spread at the hip no longer gets smaller as the player ADSs. Once the scope reaches the player's eye, the bullet spread goes instantly to 0, which basically means that blast scoping is no longer going to be in the game. Like I said, I'm not a sniper, so that doesn't really affect me. However, I feel like it's going to be like really annoying for those who are quick scopers. Now, the next bullet says that sniper aim assist was reduced slightly for the KBS longbow and the other bolt action snipers, which personally I think that's a good thing. And then it goes on to say that our turn rate while aimed down sight is still slowed to help with precision aiming, which is basically the same as all the older CODs besides Black Ops 3. In Black Ops 3, you would have to turn down your sensitivity when you sniped, because when you would aim in, it wouldn't like slow down at all. So every time you'd sway, it would still be as fast as if you weren't aiming in. But in the older CODs, you would have to turn it up, because when you would aim in and try to like turn, it would basically cut your sensitivity in half. The next bullet says sniper class weapons no longer have any aim assist until the optic fully reaches the player's eye, which basically means when you're like trying to no skip or you're not aimed in, there's going to be no aim assist, but when you aim in, there is going to be aim assist. Now, the next two bullets go on to say that the ELO and scout optics on snipers have been nerfed and that the tracking chip optics have been buffed. Now, the second to last bullet says that quickdraw has been nerfed, which I personally think is just ridiculous. I don't think anything should have been done with quickdraw. The final bullet says that they updated snipers to have more flinch when getting shot, which is ridiculous. Now, I believe there's already a perk in-game that makes it to where when you are using a sniper and you get shot, it'll reduce the amount of flinch. So the fact that they're just going to go ahead and add more flinch to snipers when they get shot is just completely pointless in my opinion. So it's not looking too hot for the snipers, but let's go ahead and move on to the SMGs. For SMGs, they just added recoil to the Ripper, and that's literally all they did for SMGs. Now, for perks and rig traits, they just fixed a couple bugs, but for health regen and spawning, they made it to where health regen time has been reduced, which I personally think is a bad thing. I always feel as if I'm like one shot forever and my guy just doesn't decide the regen health. For the economy, they increased salvage gain in mission teams, changed currency value in supply drops, and increased drop rate of keys in round-based modes, which are all good things in my opinion. Now, there's some information about matchmaking and dedicated servers that I'm just going to skip over. If you guys care about that, go to the Reddit link, it'll be in the description. The last thing that I want to talk about that I think is really important is TTK, or the time to kill in this game. And what they basically said is that they didn't do anything to the TTK, and that all the above adjustments that I just went over are gonna help balance the time to kill in this game, which I still think that they need to have a direct change to time to kill, because in the beta I was getting insta kill. That's my final thoughts on this game. Hopefully the game's not as bad as what everybody thinks it's gonna be. So far the game's not looking too hard, although most of the patch notes are actually positive. However, the snipers, not looking too hard for them, and the time to kill, I really feel like something needs to be done with that. But other than that, I feel like they did pretty good with the patch notes so far. At this point, we can only hope for this game. But for competitive, I don't really have any insight on competitive. I didn't get to watch the esports reveal, so I'm going to have a link to Chris That Gamer's video. Hopefully he doesn't mind me linking his video, but he talked about all the esports things and his opinions on it, and I thought it was a good video, so I think you guys should go check that out. I just thought I should address something about the competitive side of COD, because I do play competitively myself. But with all this being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.